Good day, everyone. I am Mirielle Abiera. Today, I will be presenting my chosen product-oriented assessment, which is a literary analysis. But first, let's know what is literary analysis. According to Pacific Lutheran University, literature analysis or literary analysis is the cornerstone of many college classes in subjects ranging from English literature to history. Literature analysis papers know how and why literary text was written and convey some kind of message. A literary analysis essay is a type of essay which includes an argumentative analysis of a piece of literature. In this kind of essay, the author examines the book, novel, or play, or etc., analyzing the idea, plot, characters, tone, writing style, devices by which the author or the writer uses to narrate his story. The ability to take apart a text and break it down into its separate parts enables you to judge how effective an author's argument is, what symbols or motifs are important throughout the novel, poem, or other text, and ultimately to understand the text in a more holistic way. Therefore, knowing how to craft a good argument and defend it well using textual evidence is an important skill to learn in preparing for your college career. In this video, I will be producing a literary analysis on Nadine Gordimer's 6 Feet of the Country. This analysis will be graded using holistic and analytic rubrics. Presented on the screen is the Literary Analysis Holistic Rubric. So we have rating scale from 1 as the lowest and 4 as the highest, and its corresponding evaluative criteria on the other side. So 4 is given if the thesis statement is strong and clearly stated. The evidence is well chosen and strongly supports the thesis. It is well organized, thoughtful, and planned response. The analysis is almost no errors. And 3 is given if the thesis statement presents the topic, the evidence is well chosen, but reasoning is not thoroughly stated, but the response is mostly organized. Some errors are found in the analysis, but does not impact understanding. 2 is given if the thesis statement is vague or unclear, the evidence is weak, the response has problems in order of ideas, and the sentences do not always connect. And lastly, 1 is given if the thesis statement cannot be understood, is completely off topic, or is missing. The evidence is convincing or off topic, and reasoning is insufficient or illogical. The response shows no organization. Numerous errors significantly impact understanding in the analysis. Meanwhile, the literary analysis analytic rubric is presented on the screen. So we have criteria and the different levels and its corresponding points. So we have 4 evaluative criteria, which include content, organization, sentence fluency, and word choice. And the different levels and its corresponding points include outstanding for 10 points, above average 8 points, average 6 points, and needs work 4 points. Content is outstanding if the analysis interprets the literary work creatively. The thesis is strong and has a sense of purpose, and it is full of relevant details. Now, content is above average if the analysis goes beyond basic literary interpretation. The thesis is presented clearly and some relevant details are presented. Content is average if the analysis follows basic literary interpretation, the thesis statement is presented, and few relevant details are presented. And content needs work if the analysis loses focus on their literary interpretation, it has weak thesis statement, and it lacks details to support thesis. Now, organization is outstanding if the analysis has smooth transitions, a balance of ending, middle, and end, and everything ties together. Now, organization is above average if the literary analysis has an interesting beginning, clear beginning, middle, and end, and a clear closing. Now, organization is average if the opening of the analysis is predictable and follows thesis statement. It has distinct introduction and conclusion. Lastly, organization needs work if the analysis has weak opening that does not grab reader's attention, it lacks direction and wanders from idea to idea, and it has a weak closing. For sentence fluency is outstanding if the analysis has varied sentence beginnings, a balance of simple and complex sentences, and no fragments or run-ons. Sentence fluency is above average if the analysis has mostly varied sentence beginnings and variety of simple and complex sentences. There are no fragments but few run-ons. Sentence fluency is average if the analysis occasionally repeats words or phrases within paragraphs, and simple sentences tend to dominate. There are some sentence structure problems in the analysis. Sentence fluency needs work if the analysis almost has no variety in sentence beginnings and uses simple sentences throughout. Several sentence structure problems are found in the analysis. For word choice is outstanding if the analysis has strong vocabulary and chooses the best word. It is formal and no slang used in the analysis. Word choice is above average if the analysis used appropriate vocabulary and chooses good words. It is formal and no slang used in the analysis. Word choice is average if the vocabulary is appropriate but not strong or monosyllabic. Few errors in the use of formal language are found in the analysis. Word choice needs work if the vocabulary is quite weak, and several errors in the use of formal language are found in the analysis. The succeeding videos will present my preparations and making of my product as well as the actual product itself. Presented on the screen is my literary analysis on Nadine Gordimer's 6 Feet of the Country. We have letter A, Nadine Gordimer, and the short biography of the author of the 6 Feet of the Country. Nadine Gordimer is a South African writer and political activist. She was born on November 20, 1923 in Springs, Transvaal, Union of South Africa. Gordimer was a recipient of 1991 Nobel Prize in Literature. She is the daughter of Isidore Gordimer, a Lithuanian Jewish immigrant watcher, and Hannah Gordimer. She went to a Catholic convent school. However, she was mostly homebound since her mother did not allow her to attend school, worrying that Gordimer had a weak heart. Nadine Gordimer shows early interest in racial and economic inequality in South Africa that was strongly influenced by her parents' experiences. Isidore Gordimer helped Nadine Gordimer shape her political identity since her father was a refugee from Tsarist Russia. However, his father was not an activist nor sympathetic about his experiences of racial segregation. Contrastingly, she learned activism from her mother, who was primarily concerned about poverty and discrimination encountered by Black people in South Africa. In her teenage years, Gordimer witnessed government repression when the police raided their home and confiscated the diaries and letters. Gordimer's writings were mainly about the apartheid in South Africa that makes her in the anti-apartheid movement, which was mainly influenced by the arrest of her best friend and the massacre in the South African township of Sharpeville. We have letter P, lit chart or literary chart for the 6 Feet of the Country. We have a short introduction. Can racial identity classify a person to suffer prejudicialness? Nadine Gordimer's 6 Feet of the Country opens the reality of the suffering of Black communities due to racial discrimination. Then we have theme. The story conveys inequality and the ensuing dehumanization due to racial segregation. The discrimination is evident when the main character experiences institutional racism as he seeks justice for his brother. The Black farmers and the average white citizens have no influence nor equally treated in the prevailing culture in the society. The unfavored people suffered a miserable and unfair death. The death of Petrus's brother, who is an illegal immigrant, was mainly the racial discrimination that was vividly expressed in the story. The authority shows a lackadaisical attitude with their response to the discrepancies in the society. This dehumanization is presented at all levels of society, which was shown by the admittance of the pointless recovery of the dead body by the narrator. This racial division between Black and white communities were apparently overpowering the Black communities. Then we have the plot. Let's start with the exposition. One night, Laris and her husband are awoken by one of their Black farm workers who informs them that there is a dead body of a stranger on their property. The couple discovered that the dead stranger was Petrus's brother, one of their Black farm workers, who illegally traveled from Rhodesia. Then we have the rising action. The couple explained to Petrus that his departed brother's body must undergo post-mortem examination to know the cause of his death. In order for Petrus to retrieve his brother's dead body and give him a traditional funeral, he must pay 20 pounds to the government. Then we have the climax. At the funeral, Petrus discovered that the dead body was not his brother, and the health authorities must have given them the wrong body. Then we have the falling action. Petrus quickly informed the health authorities and asked to retrieve the correct body or return the money he paid. However, Petrus was not able to reclaim his brother's corpse nor the money. Then the denouement, Petrus and his company lost their hope for the retrieval of their money or the corpse of Petrus's brother. Petrus's father returned to his place mournful about his son's death. Then we have the interpretation. These include the characters, setting, conflict, and symbolisms. This ends my presentation of the product-oriented assessment, which is a literary analysis. Thank you so much and have a great day.